going to talk about country piano a little bit. Today I'm going to talk about the Desert Rose Band. The guitar player played a solo on the song called Hello Trouble that I just thought was great. His name's John Jorgensen. So I wrote that out. You can get the transcription in the link below. And I also have a link for the transcription as he played it, and there's one that has my double stop ideas. And I'd like to know what you think. Maybe you have some ways to bring out some of the guitar things on the piano. So without further ado, I'm going to play this solo with a backing track that is also available for download. So there it is. That's pretty fast, but it's really not that fast. It's about 103, and I would recommend playing it slower for quite a while until you feel comfortable with it. Great solo. Our guitar player with Tracy Lawrence is Travis Newman, and he says that is a Stratocaster through a Fender Deluxe with some slapback delay. So I like translating solos from other instruments because it gives us unexpected intervals. It gives us some different phrasing ideas. We have to deal with bended notes. We can't bend a note, so what do? Because it does draw attention to the note, so what can we do? Dealing with accents, there are instruments laid out different, so they might accent things a little differently than we would. So go ahead and download the transcriptions and the tracks so you can practice along, and there are different tempos and everything. Okay, so let's go through. I've broken this down into 5 phrases. First phrase. So there's some fun stuff. So what he did was he had a bend, and what I did was just played a chord: B flat, F, C from the bottom up. And you could also do just B flat, F, B flat. You could just do a little B flat. You could do B flat with a little, or something like that. Anyway, there's a cool note to hit. I just kind of like that. And I'm using two-handed approach on this. Together, left, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, 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 left, 1. So that's the first phrase. So you'll notice I shift my left hand up to the 5th finger here, and then do that. So there's your first phrase, and I've added the double stops in. What he actually did was so if we add doubles, and that's fine. That's great if you can do that. Another way without doing double stops is just to play that in octaves. But that would be pretty difficult up to speed, but you could do it. I like the left-right kind of approach. Another thing I noticed, this A note right there on the and of 3 fits this chord. So it goes to an F chord briefly. So it's C, F. See how that works? So he's thinking about the chord progression. There's some, alluding to playing changes. All right, so there's phrase 1. Transferring transpose this into all the keys, even the ones you hate. But start with the ones you like better, I guess. That's what we all end up doing, isn't it? But like in G, that lick might be at least the first half of that lick, and then it's key. You know, move it around and get comfortable with it. You know, run that lick around in the other keys because you're going to need that later. And the back and forth ideas. All right, phrase number 2. It's a little grace note. So he's you know, he's sliding up the neck. We can't. Well, we could do that. So I'm doing this. But what he did was to the E flat there. This is just a digital pattern in thirds. I think he's fixing to go to the A after that. So that's the second phrase. We could do that. That works well for me. This sounds like a chicken clucking to me. You could do that, or this. Just depends on how loud your chicken is. Alright, so that's phrase 2. Digital pattern, and then the chicken clucking with triplets. You could play that, like I said, octaves, or you could go with an E flat and an A. E flat on the bottom, A on top. Or you can put the A on the bottom and use your left hand. That's kind of cool. So there's some ideas. That's phrase 2. Phrase number 3. We're already into it, and the other, he's transitioning into phrase number 3. He's already at the top of it. What he plays on this is and so that's a cool lick if you want to learn that one. I added a double stop, sort of like Brent Mason would do. You hear him do that? You hear him do a lot. Brent Mason does that a lot, but here it is right here. And all we did was, the original note's a C, we're just going to add an E on top. It's a C7 chord. And that's a little F and A I added. It was just F, I just put the A on it because it's sort of implying an F chord there. And plus, I'm going to use my left hand on this E flat. And I use my right hand on the E. Walking up in sixths. It's hard to say. So he's coming down a triad, not all the way down, but to the to the E. Now on guitar, Travis played this for me, and it lays really well. They play a couple notes, they slide up a fret. You know, it's kind of a fret, real easy to slide up. Not saying it's easy. I'm just saying that that's why it lays that way. So for us, we have to be thinking about that. Bring out that lower voice. As a matter of fact, I don't even think John Jorgensen really ever plays the E flat. He kind of goes. But for piano, I thought it might be better just to at least include it. You can do whatever you want there. So that's phrase number 3. Number 4. Phrase number 4 starts with which is a very, you know, he's sliding up some frets. Then he outlines the F. He's going to the A note. He's outlining an F chord. Straight up F, A, and C, right? I use my thumb on that, I think. Maybe 2, 2, 1, 2. I might do that. 2, 1, 2, 4, and then put my thumb here on the F. 2, 4. I think I might do that. You could try it with your thumb, sliding from the E flat to the E. I might do that. So the whole phrase would be. Outlines the F chord. Now he's still on the F chord, but he's getting ready for the G chord, so he's already thinking G, 7. Comes down to G9 to the E flat, E flat, E, C. The last phrase. Phrase 5 is triplets, featuring triplets. The most crispest triplets you've ever heard. And what he played was a single note. This whole thing pretty much a single note. He had a little harmony, but it starts on beat 2, 1. That's it. And it's blues, except he's added a D note, which is a great idea. So now you can try that in other keys. Oh, how about that? And it works everywhere. Emphasize the downbeats. 1. Another way to bring it out, though, that you could try, because once you get faster, it gets harder to articulate that correctly. But you could throw a double stop in again, put an E on top. You could put an E on top of the B flat. And I've tried some two-handed things. You could try this. Maybe it'd work for you. Try it on the left hand on the F sharp. That's an option. Or on the F. And that works in all the keys. So that's the last phrase of the piece. So I would just practice this slowly. It's at 103. Let's do it at 75 for a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Break that down into phrases, and anything you have trouble with, just slow it down, pick it apart. Let me know if you have any trouble. Maybe I can help you. Application of this stuff. I'm just going to improvise with this first lick in mind and show you some ways that I do it, and maybe it'll help you. Different stuff. I like this idea. 2, 3. Or stuff like that. The second phrase, right? So we can play around with that. Let's try 6. That works. You could go. The chicken clucking. I might, like I said, I had a few ideas on that, but could you come up to a cluck? Sure you could. C chord, so it's gonna hurt. It's gotta hurt a little bit. But you could make it hurt this way. An F sharp. What about the flat 7? Really
cool. How about the fourth? You could go to a different interval. That's A, C, A, E flat. That's pretty cool. A, E flat, C, A. Be one way in and out of a lick there. Chicken clucking. Gotta go up. That's pretty cool. Let's try a different coming down. I'll use two hands. Imagine the bass. What about going up? A, E flat, A, E flat. That'd be one way to do it. And then the last lick, double stops. Oh my gosh, you could go forever on this. Just pound the double stop super loud. Then phrase 4. What I like best about this lick is that he anticipated the G chord, because it's F. All this is going for the, is already he's thinking G, but he's not there yet. All that part in there, and I love the G9, the way he outlines the G9 chord. So with those two ideas in mind, it's on a 5 chord. It's 4 to the 5. So what could we do to anticipate the G chord? We could go something like that. So we did, that's what he did. He rolled up to the 3rd of the chord. I think I rolled up to the 5th. And now I'm going to start thinking G. That's one way to do it. Let's go up to the root. That's kind of cool. Another way you could do it. So just start thinking about what you can do. Piano players, this is really cool what we can do. When you want to bring emphasis to a note, sometimes preceding it that way is helpful. G9 lick. Let's do it on an A chord just for a second. So he started on the 7th, 7th, 5th, 3rd, 9, 1, flat 7, and then he goes to the E flat. So how do we do that on an A7 chord? Start on the 7th of an A7. And he went to the 5th. So to the 3rd. So that's a good A chord. That'd be good to key a D, right? You could even swing that. what I love about the last lick is just that he put the D note in the blues scale. He put the 2 in, or the 9, or however you want to think of it. So he did triplets. I'm just messing around here. And then I might mess around in G also. So I'm kind of working 2 ideas, triplets and the 2 or the 9 note in there. You know, just get thinking about it. Play the solo, see what you think, have fun with it. Don't worry about the speed of it so much, although that's pretty thrilling when you can get it faster. But try to get it into your DNA. I want to mention TL's Roadhouse, which is a podcast that I run the cameras on, basically. And it's Tracy Lawrence's podcast, and we just talked to a lot of country singers. It's very interesting. Their interviews about how they made in the business and what they like to eat and where they tour and their life in general, some trials and tribulations of the country singer. And we also have actors and just different kinds of people on there. But TL's Roadhouse is pretty cool. Check it out. My friend Derek Parnell's running the audio on that. And Tracy Lawrence is going to be having a bunch of interesting people this year, so check it out. Also, I want to mention Amy Nolte, AIMEE NOLTE, is a really great online piano person. So if you like this, you really love her. She's got a lot of great stuff. She's much more organized, got all the packets if you're struggling with understanding some of what we're doing here. She might have some stuff too that can get you going on chord names and theory, and she goes all the way up to Oscar Peterson advanced stuff. But I'm just not going to do that right now. I'm just going to kind of break down solos for you and talk about them. And what I'd really love is for you to talk to me about the solos too. Josh Wright is a great concert pianist and a great teacher. And Josh Wright, I think it's called Josh Wright Piano. Anyway, if you're for technique stuff in any style of music, he's great. He'll talk about how to get your hands working like they should be and playing great piano. And lastly, Open Studio with Peter Martin and Adam Manis is great for jazz stuff, so check out that one. And if you'd like to hear me playing on a record, I'm on the Tracy Lawrence Live at Billy Bob's record that we did, so I'm on that. Contact me if you have any more questions in the comments. You can email me if you want, scottjoyce@comcast.net, and the Dropbox links are below for anything you might need. And here's my dog. Here's my big dog. Yeah, here's Romeo. And there's the little dog. And this is Charlotte. Oh, she's so cool. Alright, so anyways, I think they've decided that this video is over. Enjoy your new country piano licks and let me know how it's going.